The matchless youth who won immortality by his shining heroism in the mighty enemies, this warrior, barely 16, became the sheet anchor of Pandavas. He was yet a boy, such was his prowess that the entire army of the Kauravas trembled. Mighty heroes among the Kauravas, who were deemed unequaled, had to flee. To defeat and kill that young boy, let us see in this video to what extent the Kauravas had to stoop down. Abhimanyu was Sri Krishna's nephew, whose mother was Krishna's younger sister Subhadra and father, the third Pandava, Arjuna. Arjuna lived in the city of Indraprastha, which was the capital of the Pandavas who were good and just. Abhimanyu was the only son of Subhadra. A few months before he was born, Krishna drove a chariot carefully, drawn by horses from Indraprastha to Dwarka. In the journey, not to bore Subhadra, Krishna asked her if he can tell a story. Subhadra replied saying, "I do not want a story, but if you could tell me about the fighting skill of my husband." "Are you also going to fight in a battle?" Krishna laughed. "Brother, would it be wrong if I fight to help my husband?" asked Subhadra. "Certainly not," said Krishna, "but there will not be any need." Listening to his sister, Krishna felt that he should fulfill any wish of her as she was pregnant. He described in detail the art of warfare which Arjuna had learned from his guru Dronacharya. He described the several skills and secrets of the war, various formations like Makara Vyuha and the Chakra Vyuha, the use of different types of missiles and weapons, and the ways of crushing the enemy. "I am very happy to hear all this, brother," said Subhadra. "I am fortunate to be the wife of such a hero. Brother, help my son also to become brave like him." Krishna felt very happy on hearing his sister's words. He himself was an unequaled hero who had slain King Kamsa, Jarasandha and Shishupala, who were great heroes but very wicked. He blessed her saying, "May your son be brave and famous." Krishna and Subhadra reached Dwarka and were welcomed by her parents and relatives. They performed Arati to Subhadra before she stepped into the palace. A few days later, Subhadra gave birth to a baby boy. The child was named Abhimanyu, meaning one who remains in the midst of wisdom, a very intelligent person. It also means a person who always defends his honor. The queens of the palace, Sri Krishna, Balarama, the Pandavas were all greatly rejoiced on hearing about the birth of the child. They distributed sweets among the people, they fed poor people and gave them new clothes. After a few months, Krishna took Subhadra and Abhimanyu back to Indraprastha. Though Abhimanyu's military education was perfect and complete with his father and uncles, his suffering came as a young boy by their hatred that was shared by Dhritarashtra's sons, the Kauravas. After losing the game of dice, according to the conditions, the Pandavas had to give up their kingdom for 13 years and had to live for 12 years in the forest with the 13th year incognito. If anybody recognized them during the last year, they had to again spend 12 years in the forest and live incognito for 1 year. The Pandavas, with Draupadi, her children, Subhadra, along with young Abhimanyu, left to forest. Krishna went there, consoled them and took Subhadra and Abhimanyu with him to Dwaraka. Abhimanyu's training as a warrior continued in Dwaraka with Sri Krishna and Balarama. Krishna taught Abhimanyu the use of many different types of weapons in battles, along with various formations like Makar Vyuha and the Chakra Vyuha. Krishna taught Abhimanyu the art of entering them. Balarama taught him Gada Yuddha. Shashirekha, the daughter of Balarama, was to be married to Abhimanyu, but as the Pandavas did not have a palace or even a place, Balarama's mind changed and he now wanted to give his daughter to the son of Duryodhana, who was his favorite student by name Lakshana Kumara, already a prince. Subhadra was miserable. Abhimanyu came to know of his mother's grief. He was very angry at the insult to his mother, father and to himself. Mother and son decided to go to the place where the Pandavas lived. In the course of their journey, they reached a place called Hidimbavana, where Ghatotkacha, the strong king of Hidimbavana, was Hidimba and Bhima's son. Subhadra and Abhimanyu did not know this. Ghatotkacha was angry because they had come there without his permission. When he stopped them, Abhimanyu became furious and shot 100 arrows at Ghatotkacha. At first, Ghatotkacha did not take Abhimanyu seriously. He thought that he was after all a young boy. Abhimanyu, of course, did not care and was not afraid. Ghatotkacha fell on him like a mountain, but Abhimanyu calmly shot his arrows. Ghatotkacha stopped the arrows, threw them away, and again pounced on Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu again rained arrows on his opponent. all of which entered Ghatotkacha's body. Unable to bear the pain, Ghatotkacha cried aloud and fell down. Hidimba was much grieved at the sad condition of her brave son. She took his head on her lap and said, "Oh, this should happen to Bhimasena's son." She wept. Subhadra and Abhimanyu were shocked, asking how he is Bhimasena's son. With tears in her eyes, Hidimba narrated her story. Several years before, when Bhimasena was in Hidimbavana, she had fallen in love with him. Her brother, a wicked man, was angry and had fought with Bhimasena and had been killed. She had married Bhimasena. Subhadra revealed that she was Arjuna's wife and that she was her elder sister. At first, after regaining Ghatotkacha was furious that he had been defeated, but hearing the story, he was delighted. After all, the great hero was his own younger brother. Ghatotkacha was wild with anger when he learned that Balarama had not kept his word. He took Subhadra and Abhimanyu to Dwaraka. He brought Shashirekha and left her with them. Shashirekha also wished to marry Abhimanyu. Both of them were very happy. Balarama also finally agreed to Shashirekha's marriage with Abhimanyu. It was a grand wedding. Pandavas went to the court of a king called Virata. They disguised themselves in different ways and found employment. At the end of the year, one morning they appeared in the king's court in their true forms. Virata was surprised, happy, and also sad that such great persons had worked as servants in his palace. He implored Arjuna to marry Uttara. Arjuna said that he was quite aged and moreover Uttara was his disciple. He suggested that he should marry his son Abhimanyu. King Virata agreed. Virata's representatives went to Dwaraka, taking with them jewelry and other auspicious things. Subhadra was overwhelmed with happiness as her husband's exile was over and her son was getting married. Uttara became the wife of brave Abhimanyu on an auspicious day. Duryodhana refused to give the kingdom even after their exile. Yudhishthira did not want millions of people die and thousands of families ruined if a war were fought. So Krishna carried the message if Duryodhana gave them just 5 towns. When Duryodhana disagreed, 2 armies met in a vast field called Kurukshetra. Both the Pandavas and the Kauravas had the support of many kings. The war began. There were streams of blood. Dead horses and elephants piled up. Kurukshetra was filled with the dead bodies of warriors. It was war in which very great heroes and kings who had already taken part in many battles also fought here. And it was in such a war that very young Abhimanyu fought. He fought so well that even among all those great heroes, it is impossible to forget him. And he justified his name Abhimanyu, one who always defended his honor. It was the 9th day of the war. Abhimanyu's arrows threatened the enemies like the darts of death. Wherever he set foot, Kaurava soldiers sank to the earth. Brave men like Krupa, Ashwathama and Saindava faced him, but even they could not stop his darts. Dronacharya himself, who had taught archery to Abhimanyu's father, then stopped him. Even he was amazed at Abhimanyu's skill. The enemies could never make out when his fingers moved, when he took out arrows from his quiver, when he set them to the bow, or when he shot those darts at the target. They could only realize that arrow after an arrow pierced their bodies. The Kaurava soldiers were amazed. They were wondered whether there was one Arjuna or 2 of them in Kurukshetra. Duryodhana saw this and sent a mighty giant called Alambusa to kill Abhimanyu. After Upandavas could not fight him, Abhimanyu went to their rescue. Alambusa created darkness with his magical power. Abhimanyu swept off the darkness with his dazzling Suryastra, the sun missile, and Alambusa ran away. Then Bhishmacharya faced Abhimanyu to protect the Kaurava army, showered arrows all around Abhimanyu. But Abhimanyu cut all his arrows. As the battle raged on, it grew dark and both the armies retired to their camps. The Kaurava army was shuddering at the very mention of Abhimanyu. On the 11th day, a very brave king, Paurava by name, faced Abhimanyu. When Abhimanyu shot an arrow to kill him, Paurava cut his bow and arrow with his darts. Abhimanyu threw away his bow and fell on him with his sword, caught hold of his hair and threw him on the ground. At that moment, another famous hero, the king of the country Sindhu, who hated Abhimanyu very much, fought flashing swords, dazzling the onlookers. The bodies of both were dripping with blood. Jayadratha's sword struck Abhimanyu's shield and pierced it. When he pulled it back, it broke down. Jayadratha retreated 6 paces, climbed into his chariot and went away. Abhimanyu caught a fire arrow that Shalya shot at him and threw it back, which hit Shalya's chariot and the charioteer fell dead. Shalya jumped down from his chariot and fell in Abhimanyu with his heavy mace. Though Abhimanyu insisted, he yielded to his uncle Bhima and moved away. It was the 12th day of the Mahabharata war. By then, Bhishma had given up his bow and lay on a bed of arrow, renouncing war. Grieved that his army was being defeated, Duryodhana went to Drona, who was in command, told him of his sorrow, and also reproached him. Drona was much pained and said, "If Arjuna is elsewhere on the battlefield, I shall defeat the Pandavas." The 5 Samshaptakas, who had sworn either to win or die in the battle, invited Arjuna to fight with them. The next day, which was the 13th day, Arjuna went in his chariot to fight with those sworn soldiers with Krishna. Dronacharya arranged the Kaurava army in a particular pattern known as the Padma Vyuha or the Chakra Vyuha. Only Sri Krishna, his son Pradyumna and Arjuna knew how to enter and come out of the Padma Vyuha. Abhimanyu knew only how to get in. Yudhishthira did not know what to do. It was a shame to the Pandavas. The brave Abhimanyu saw his uncle's plight and said, I will find my way into the Chakra Vyuha. Do not worry. Yudhishthira said, My boy, you are very brave and possess strength and courage beyond your age. But there are experienced warriors in the Kaurava army. Can you face them? This adventure is not for you. Uncle, I am not afraid of anybody in the battle. I will defeat them all, replied Abhimanyu. Yudhishthira tried to pacify him, but when Abhimanyu repeatedly asked for permission, Yudhishthira gave in and said, It will be enough if you just enter the Vyuha. Bhima, Satyaki, Drishtadyumna, the Panchalas and I myself will be right behind you. Abhimanyu fell on the armies. It was like trees trying to stop advancing flames. Abhimanyu pierced the Chakravyuha and entered inside, right in front of the unequaled archer Dronacharya. As the Kaurava soldiers watched him, their tongues went dry, their eyes grew unsteady, and their hair stood up with fear. Duryodhana saw this and came to fight with Abhimanyu. Seeing Duryodhana, eminent warriors like Drona, Kripa and Karna rushed in their chariots to help him. Jayadratha, who could chuck all the Pandavas except Arjuna, stopped Yudhishthira and Bhima. Hit by Abhimanyu's darts, Duryodhana tottered. Abhimanyu stopped Drona, Kripa, Ashwathama, who came to his rescue single-handed. With the one arrow, he pierced Karna's shield. With 3 more, he killed Sushena, Dirghalochana and others. Shalya, known as the bravest of the brave, crumpled up in his chariot when Abhimanyu's arrow hit him. The Kaurava army ran helter-skelter because of the boy's arrows right before Dronacharya, who had taught archery to Arjuna and Duryodhana. When Drona praised Abhimanyu, Duryodhana was angry and asked Dushasana to kill Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's dart struck Dushasana's heart. Blood gushed out. Abhimanyu shot another arrow and Dushasana fainted. His charioteers sped away from the chariot. Seeing Dushasana's plight, Karna rushed to confront Abhimanyu. He showered 100 arrows on Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu easily cut his bow into 2. His arrows brought the flag on Karna's chariot to the ground and cut Karna's dart in midair. When the Kauravas surrounded Abhimanyu again, Abhimanyu faced the Kaurava heroes like a lion's cub fighting with trumpeting elephants attacking him. He shot various missiles. Arrows struck one another in midair and fell down, burning. Horses ran hither and thither, unable to bear the pain. Abhimanyu's arrows cut off Lakshana's head. The Kaurava army was in utter panic. Karna said to Drona, Acharya, how are we to conquer this brave lad? The Acharya said, break his bow and then from behind smash his chariot. From behind Abhimanyu, Karna unethically shot sharp arrows aimed at the lad's hand. Abhimanyu's bow was broken. Simultaneously, Bhoja killed his horses. Abhimanyu's chariot could not move. 6 mighty warriors, Drona, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Brihadbala and Kritavarma surrounded the young hero and attacked him. Abhimanyu had no chariot and no bow, and there was no one at all to help him. But the brave Abhimanyu did not fear or despair. He jumped out of his chariot, holding his sword and shield. Even as he jumped, Drona and Karna broke his shield. Abhimanyu jumped to the ground, pulled off his chariot wheel, and with it attacked Dronacharya. The enemies all around him rained arrows on him, which broke the wheels into pieces. Abhimanyu picked up his mace from the chariot and pounced upon the enemies. The brave boy was standing on the ground, and yet the warriors in the chariots had to retreat before his onslaught. Dushasana's chariot and horses were crushed. Dushasana's son took his mace and confronted Abhimanyu. The fight was terrible, like the clash of 2 maddened elephants. Both of them fell down. Abhimanyu was already tired, having fought for a long time all through the day. Dushasana's son recovered earlier and got up quickly. Even as Abhimanyu was getting up, his enemy hit him with his mace. Unable to bear the blow, Abhimanyu fell down. The soul of the supreme hero left his lovely young body. Blood spilled all around and his strong body became covered with mud and dust. But his fame lives and Abhimanyu has become another word for boundless daring.